Good evening, everybody, and welcome to quite a special fireside chat this evening. We've had some wonderful rain today. In fact, such incredible rain that we got the Milwaukee flowing, and I think that must have been from probably, we only got about 10% of it, and the other 90% of it must have been falling up on Buffelshoek and a little bit north of us to bring those drainage lines down in such flood. I'd really do envy Tara for being out there and being able to see. I don't think after all that rain, I mean, you were directing. Anyway, sorry. Pat's with me on Fireside Chat this evening. Hi, Pat.
Hi, Mark. How are you doing?
We're good, and you?
Wonderful.
Special Fireside Chat this evening for Patrick. And, of course, a lot of you may have read on the blog, or you may have heard that Pat's going to be leaving us soon, sort of. And, well, it is quite a sad moment for us here at Wilder Safari. And so tonight we're going to be chatting to Pat, and we're going to be looking at some of the past times that we've had here. We've selected a few clips, and we're going to hopefully be able to see some of those. But I just wanted to chat about a couple of things. First of all, the Milwaukee flying, it was quite incredible. I mean, you were directing, so you saw that coming down when Tara got to Spaghetti Crossing. I only popped into FC then. Did you see any of the other drainage lines? Or did Tara, do you know if we saw any of the other drainage lines?
No, not really. I didn't see the other drainage line flowing, but
Yeah.
I just saw that as part of Spaghetti Crossing and the Gowrie Main junction with Milwaukee flowing nicely as well. Yeah, it's over the weir, which is fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it must be partly because the dams are so full, so that it's not taking the rain and the flow that is happening. The surface flow is not filling up the dams first. The dams are so full that all of that rain that is coming down is just going straight through the dams. I'm just really surprised that we've had such little rain and had that riverbed flowing.
No, actually, just before we went out and drive this afternoon, I had a phone call from a friend of mine who works up in the north, and he said that it's pouring with the rain in the Mayolet Reserve and as well as the Open Gate area.
Yeah.
So it obviously rained quite a lot.
We must have got just the edge of that storm today.
Yeah.
But also just wonderful to have such a lovely rain during the day instead of overnight. It was quite amazing. Well, Pat, you know, it's been quite a surprise to hear that you're going to be leaving us. You've become a stalwart here. I mean, you've become such a leader in the team and a fixture here. There have been parts of or aspects to your life that have become such a feature here with Wilder Safari. And of course, everybody does wish you well. But is there anything that you can tell us about what maybe the future holds for you, about what maybe lies ahead for you?
For a long while I've cherished a desire to explore other aspects of wildlife industry, and I've been very fortunate enough because Dixie is proposing to set up a 3-star lodge just outside the Sibisand Game Reserve, and they will negotiate with the Sibisand and see if they could possibly incorporate a piece of land into the Sibisand.
Wow.
And so that we can
benefit from the wildlife.
Absolutely, benefit the wildlife and also the access of traversing the other lodges. And the other big project that's going to be happening soon is the Dixie Airport.
Yes.
So they are also proposing to build lodge and the airport at the same time, but Beverly Trust, and it's going to handle all of that, which is very interesting, and obviously it's going to create more job opportunities to the jobless people. People are very excited about it.
I imagine it'll be quite a huge boost for job opportunities. I believe that's in conjunction with something like a lot of the private strips that the scheduled planes land on are going to be closing to those scheduled planes, and that most of the guest flights will be coming into Dixie.
Yes, that's correct,
Well, I think that's long overdue. I mean, personally, I think it's long overdue that something that there becomes a financial benefit to the village of Dixie, since it is. I mean, it's in a little corner. Dixie, the village that a lot of you know about, it's in a tiny little corner between Manyaleti and the Sabi Sand. They have basically on two sides of the village is game reserve. Yet the only benefit I think Dixie's ever had is that a lot of the people of Dixie work inside the reserve, but there's not really that much going back into the community other than what Buffelshoek Trust and other donors provide. So I think that's going to be a wonderful thing, and obviously we all wish the project the best of success for that. Well, you're going to be phasing out your work here over the next couple of weeks. I know that you've got a conference, a conference coming up early April.
Yes.
And you're going to be leaving us for a couple of days, but you will be back as soon as I go on leave, because otherwise either I can't go on leave or the drive doesn't go. But yes, Pat's coming back just as soon as I go on leave in early April. We'll be then Pat will be phasing out as we get new people in, or we start the audition process of somebody to replace Patrick. And well, I think one of the things that we're really keen on doing this evening before we get to all of that, and that is around the corner, and of course it is a sad moment that will be coming. But until that happens in the next couple of weeks, well, the next week or so, we're going to be working together. And what we've done for this evening is we've actually managed to find a few clips, and we're going to hopefully play some of these clips that highlight some of the times that Pat has spent with us here at Wild Earth Safari. And I mean, for me, it is sad because, well, there's three of us that come from the old days, I suppose, and we've worked very closely together. I've worked very closely with your brother, and we know a lot of people that are common. So I know that we're not going to be losing contact with you.
No, absolutely
but
not.
We are going to miss you, and there are going to be things about Patrick. There are going to be elements that is Patrick in a nutshell that we're going to be missing. And I think if we look at some of these clips, we're going to be able to see what it is that we're going to have to go and find every now and then when Patrick's back in Dixie. So we're going to start with a clip from a sunrise, a memorable sunrise, and open our clips with the sunrise. Let's have a look at that.
Hello and good morning everyone, and just welcome to WALF from Ndza Khense Reserve. And my name is Patrick, and I'll be presenting and guiding this morning drive, and with Sebastian behind the camera and him in final control. Beautiful morning, beautiful start of the sunrise in the horizon in the eastern parts of the Ndza Khense Reserve, and we've got some giraffes and wallabies just to start with this morning on quarantine. So let's go and take a closer look at the giraffes.
Well, you know, we have a sunrise every day, and I think out of a week of sunrise, we probably get 4 or 5 that are really memorable. I don't know if you can remember anything particular about this sunrise, but I don't think you'll ever see sunrises differently again, the way we've had them here at Wild Earth Safari. Having the viewers out there and knowing that when we get to a sunrise or a sunset, knowing how important it is for them. I don't know if there's anything you want to add about seeing sunrises in the future, having been here with us and trying to find those moments of starting a drive with such a memorable sunrise.
No, it's I will say that it's as Mark's explained, that I might not be seeing the sunrise differently because I live in the bush and I see it almost every day, but sometimes I see it differently because they vary from day to day or week to week or something like that, yeah. And I will call it a memorable sunrise and at the same time a remarkable sunrise. That's what I will always remember. Remarkable Magwana with them.
Thanks, Pat.
And yeah, I think that was a special sunrise, and I've been seeing many sunrises in my lives, and again growing up in this environment. So, and of course, and I do celebrate or appreciate the dawn and dusk and every single day. So, yeah, I mean, I think that was a very special sunrise that I've been seeing for many years. Yeah.
No, you're actually very lucky to live in Dixie. I know where your house is in Dixie, and I know you're on that little bit of a slope. But sometimes, maybe more in summer, you probably see more
Yes,
more
yeah.
sunrises from home. It is quite special. I just want to interject here. I just want to mention that towards the end of our fireside chat, I would like some of you viewers, especially some of you long-term viewers who have been with us a while, if you can think of any memorable moments that you've had with Patrick on Drive, please send an email through. If we get some time at the end of our fireside chat, I would like to. I've got a little earpiece in my ear, and Craig will just mention things to me, and we'll maybe relate some of your moments with Patrick. I'm hoping we will have time. I'll set aside a little bit of time at the end of fireside chat to be able to do that. And well, let's carry on. We've got a few clips that we want to get through, and another one is a very memorable moment with Karula and a lioness. I'm not sure if it was a lioness or was it the young Styx male, and was right in front of the lodge. We're going to play that clip, and then I want Pat to talk about it.
Like what's Karula's doing now? Look at the reaction. The lions are starting to walk.
We're going to swing to the lion.
So I'm going to quickly show you the lions. She looks like she's going after the leopard. There we go, she's running. She's chasing the leopard. Look at this. This is amazing, yeah? The leopard is up in a tree now.
Well, that was... I must have been on leave because I didn't even hear about that. But that looked like it was right in front of Vuyatela, where Karula was just lazing around and out of nowhere, just at dusk, talking about sunset and sunrises. Can you tell me what happened there? I didn't really see that.
No, actually what happened over there in Karula, we spent probably about half an hour with her and just chilling out in the thicker bushes, and then she eventually got up and she walked to the dam and she drank there. Just before she got to the dam and drank there, and she caught the blacksmith plover.
Oh, right.
And she walked over the dam wall with it, and then she put it on the ground, and then she played around with it, and then she left it there, and it was completely uncautious. And then she went down to them and drank, and she came back to the plover again. Instead of playing, she picked it up and she walked about 2 feet, and she dropped it into the grass, and she lied down. They look at it, and the plover just was deadly still. But it was not actually dead because they were the gorilla was holding it. Was not
not a fatal area.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she eventually left it, and she walked off, and she lied down by the dam again, and she started walking towards the lodge, and that's when the Styx lions came, and gorilla lied down trying to hide from the Styx pride, and the Styx pride didn't actually see gorilla at all, and she was like lying down flat into the grass, trying to make herself invisible to the lions, and the lion saw the leopard and started walking towards the leopard, and she ran up into the tree, and she sat there, and they came just at the base of the tree and looked at the leopard like that. She was hissing and growling at them, and suddenly they walked off to the dam as well. So it was, I don't know, it was probably one of the memorable experience with the leopards and the lions interacting in that manner. Yeah.
You know, it's funny. For the first time now, I'm sort of putting pieces together, and one of our viewers, and I'm sorry if it slipped my mind. There's a little bit on my mind at the moment. One of our viewers must have been here on safari at that time. Did you have any Vuyatela vehicles in the sighting with you?
No, they came after the lions have moved off, and the gorilla was still up in the tree. And I can't remember who it was, but yeah, they came later, so I didn't actually experience the whole thing happening yet. So.
Because one of the viewers had a photograph that they submitted to a competition, Kruger Park Photos, and it was a photograph of Karula with a blacksmith plover in her mouth that she later released, and it flew away, and it was fine, it was uninjured. And I think she came second or third or something in this competition with that photograph. And I was just thinking maybe that was the time, but then maybe not. Maybe it was a different time when she had, maybe she's done it more than once that she's caught a blacksmith
Probably, yeah.
plover.
Yeah, but that.
It's something that just suddenly came to mind talking about it, because I'm just getting a whisper in my ear that it is the same sighting thanks to Tara. But that's just quite amazing that I'm putting those two pieces together, because I'd seen that photograph and I was racking my brain trying to think of an incident that I had heard of where Karula had a blacksmith plover in her mouth. But I must have been on leave. I would have heard if when you came back to camp.
I think, you could have been on leave, because
I mean,
it
the
was
saddest
incredible
thing
to see,
The saddest thing is that we actually only do spend 4 weeks out of the 6. I mean, 2 weeks that we're here all together, Tara, you, myself, and then I go on leave and I come back, Tara goes on leave, she comes back, you go on leave, and then it's only after that that we're all here for that 2-week period. So we only ever experience the same thing for that short 2-week period, because other than that, for a 6-week stretch, one of us is always away. But anyways, what is remarkable about that I can think of, it I can relate to in a small way, was another evening that the sticks came across the dam wall, and I think it was Mishu that was lazing about and he had to get into.
I was on draft that afternoon, yeah.
Was I on camera then?
I think you were on camera, yeah. Mishu was like up
Yes.
you were up in the tree by the dam wall.
And just up towards Inga's house.
It was no, that's a different sighting then, yeah.
So it has happened a couple of times. So you've
Yeah.
had it twice now that the sticks have been there with the leopard.
Yeah, twice, yeah.
Okay, because I definitely
twice,
was
yeah.
driving that day, I remember. And it was west of the dam. He was on his way, well, the sticks were on their way up to the open area we call quarantine. And treed me, I don't know, it was Mishu, I'm sure it was Mishu. And he was up this mark and hissing. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Anyways, it just highlights that there are some very serious moments that we have. I mean, a lot of the drives are light-hearted, and we try and put a light-hearted note on them. But we never forget the fact that this is nature. We never forget the fact that the most violent and the most strange things can happen. Some of the things that can happen can be heart-wrenching and gut-wrenching. Is there anything that maybe comes to mind for you over the last 18 months or so that you've been here that you really got your heart racing, where you were on the vehicle and something really sort of was a bit of a tense moment? I mean, we see the animals go through tense moments, but every now and then something happens where we're caught right in the thick of things, and it's a tense moment for us too. Can you think of anything?
Yeah, one of the sighting couple of the sighting that I could think of, it's the one that happened at Gari Dam as well. That I can't remember if it was a Mishu or Nduna that was up in a tree. Actually, no, he was not up in the tree. He was lying on a dam wall, and the sticks pride was coming from the Vietela Lodge side, heading down towards the dam, and literally one of the boys saw them and got up and ran up into the tree, and was sitting there, was looking at them, and surprisingly the sticks lines didn't see the leopard on the tree. They walked right past the tree. And it was like standing and looking, and like you can see that it's panicky, you know. But the leopard and the lions just walked right past the tree. They didn't even notice that the leopard is up in the tree. Yeah, so that was one of my memorable sightings there.
I think we do get a little bit attached to the animal, especially the likes of Karula and Mishu and Nduna, and now certainly something that you're going to miss and you're going to have to come back for every now and then is to see the new children growing up. But it always gets a little bit tense for us when we're in a situation with the leopard that we watch, with the lion that we watch, and somebody's life is potentially threatened because of another predator. I'm not talking about ours, I'm talking about the animals that we get to know, the animals that we follow, their lives that we follow. And we know how heartbreaking it would be, and I think that's what prompts our hearts racing when we do see the likes of Karula and the boys with hyenas approaching, or the sticks pride approaching, and that sort of thing. It's always a very tense moment, because at the end, the bottom line is we can't interfere. We know from the bottom of our hearts and our heads, actually, there's always a conflict between the two, but we know that if anything does happen, we shouldn't really step in. There's nothing we can really do. That is the way that life really goes. But anyways, on a much more light-hearted note, and I think we've hit the serious side of things, and we're going to try and hit more on the light-hearted and the really fun stuff. And Pat, you've become quite famous for your laugh. Yeah, it is infectious. You've infected us with it since you've been here and you've joined. And of course, we've even had viewers that want your laugh for their ringtones, for their cell phones, and I wouldn't mind it for mine as well. There have been times where we've been asked to tell you jokes so that we could hear your laugh on air. I mean, I've been directing and people say, tell Patrick a joke that he laughs for us. And I know it's not something that you can just produce. It's not something that you can, because it does have to come from the heart and it does have to come from really deep down. But have you had this reaction to your laugh and that this bubbly personality of yours in guiding and beforehand?
Not really, yeah.
Not really.
Because I don't actually listen to myself when I laugh. I just like... But I've been hearing people for many years are saying that you've got an evil laugh. But first time I heard that I have an infectious laugh over here. But people have been saying that I've got an evil laugh, Patrick. But yeah.
Well, okay. Some people might define it as evil. We just think that it's one of those things that it instantly makes any situation lighthearted. And we've actually managed to find a clip. It's very short. But we've actually managed to find a clip that pretty much sums up Patrick's laugh that we're hoping to show you. I mean, it's just so short. You've got to play it again. You can hear it from here.
That means it's doubling it.
Well, that sums up Patrick. That sums up his approach to life. Pat is such a bubbly character, and going through footage, it's hard to come up with only a few clips that we can fit into a short sequence like this, a short fireside chat. But we've come up with a couple of things, a couple of clips that show how your passion shines through, how your connection to nature shines through. And firstly, there's the hugging the tree, and I relate to that so much because I am a bit of a tree hugger. And then the tortoise. So let's play those two.
So that's a leadwood tree, yeah? Harde kool in Afrikaans.
Tortoise.
Foods.
Foods.
I think that must have been the Leadwood on Leadwood Drive. I think that was the one that you hugged.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, that's the
that
one.
is an amazing tree. That that's got to be well over 1,000 years before it died, and it's got to have been dead for a few hundred years. I've always been fascinated with particularly the Leadwoods. They don't rot. They don't weather like other trees. Or no, they do weather. That's all they do. They don't get attacked by insects or rot like other trees. So it's just really a slow process of weathering over time. And it is it's probably one of the most magnificent leadwoods that we have on the property. And then just that it was a lovely tender moment with that tortoise. I mean, it's another moment where that passion of yours shines through, and that connection to nature. And that is one thing that makes, I think, for me personally, makes you the guide that you are. But there's more to the guide. I mean, somebody has said singer, entertainer, presenter. What is it? How does it go?
Like, I can't remember who
Singer, entertainer, presenter, and all-round good guy.
but who did it for me. I think but it's obviously one of the
One of the viewers did
regular
it. Yeah.
viewer who did that for me. Yeah, and I think it came from the most of my speeches, if I can say that. I'll be on driving and I don't see nothing for an hour or 2 hours or so, and I'll start talking about things and like the cultural experiences and all sorts of fascinating things, and I just got to this stage where I think instead of driving the people around and show them the nature, and then I'm entertaining you and I'm educating you about the surrounding of the bush, So yeah, I think that's where it came from. Yeah. But I can't really sing, but I do sing sometimes. I've sang a couple of songs with Hammond. Bayazan Show, yeah, we sang a few songs there, and then we did funny things, and Hammond and I, but yeah.
You're a songwriter, you got rhythm.
I can dance. I'm a better dancer than singing. Yeah.
I think I could probably say the same for myself. Getting some giggles out there. I haven't even tried singing anyway. But I think, Pat, you're going to miss that. I think that you're going to miss this interaction that we have with the viewers. And I know that you are, after your conference, you are going to be coming back. You promised to come back on the 5th to just help us through this interim period until we get a new guide. And we are grateful for that, and we will be seeing a little bit more about that. Well, a little bit more review, and of course you are in Dixie. You're not really that far away, so we're hoping that sometime in the future you got a moment, come and do a guest spot with us, come and do a drive, or just come and do a dance and a sing along around the fire or something one of these days. I'm hoping that's going to happen. I know we are getting short on time, and earlier on I had asked a few viewers to send in memorable moments. I'm going to just wait until I get something in my ear to see what's coming through. As far as some of you, we can't obviously cover them all, but let's see who's coming through first. A memory with Herman, the marula tree, and Patrick.
It was the elephant bull in quarantine.
Yes. Who sent that in, by the way? Oh, Sarsaparilla.
Yeah, I mean that was incredible, and him and I were out on
Must have been directing.
And fed on the marula trees on the ground and finished them all, and they went to tree and started shaking the tree, and all the marulas and then they landed on the vehicle.
I remember it.
And everyone's going, ay. Yeah.
Sounded like it was hailing.
And yeah, it sounded pretty much like that. Yeah. That was remarkable. Yeah. Your word.
Oh gosh, yes, there's that one with Catherine. Catherine on camera. This is from Jody and the big Mgoti.
Oh wow.
A hole.
Mgoti, yeah, and then wow, that was a scariest moment for Kate, that I would say.
Yeah. You mean more so than when she had a spider on her face?
Yeah. Like this morning she was screaming and shouting at the spider. But yeah, I mean, that was another unforgettable experience with an elephant bull in mast, and we spotted him from quite a long distance, and we approached him, and he was feeding on the side of the road, and he approached the vehicle and stood next to the vehicle and started feeding and kept feeding, and like going, Patrick, please reverse, start the vehicle, please back off. I said, no, just sit still and quite clean and you'll be fine and blah, blah, blah. And an elephant kept coming closer and closer to the vehicle and she says, Patrick, please, I'm not comfortable. Can you please back off? And then as she said that, and an elephant shook his head and the trunk and they threw out a little bit of sand on the fasces and then they just started the vehicle and just pulled back slightly and then he walked right past the vehicle. Yeah. And after the drive, and then we got here, and Catherine just jumped off the vehicle and then ran straight to a room. So, I don't know.
I think I might have messed that question up because I said Mgodi and you're thinking the elephant Mgodi. I'm talking about when you got the wheel stuck in the hole.
Oh, the Mgodi. Okay, sorry, I thought you.
No, but that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one anyway. Catherine's never going to forget that one.
No, yeah, but she ran to the bathroom as soon as we got back to the bus. Oh, wow. I hope she's not going to smack me in the face after the chat. Yeah, that's another one. And I don't know, I mean, I also had a very big fright, yeah, because I was concentrating on the elephants feeding in the foreground, and the grass was about this long,
Yeah.
and just after the rains, yeah, and I didn't even see that there was a hole on the ground, and I felt the vehicle going sideways like that, and the front wheel managed to go over the hole, and the back wheel fell into the hole, and I engaged the four-wheel drive diff lock. The wheel spins and couldn't get out there, and the more the wheels spinned, the vehicle was going like that. It was like standing like this in 45 degrees angle.
Wow.
Yeah, and I jump off and every time I touch the vehicle, but not like touching the vehicle like we normally jump on the vehicle, but I touched the vehicle and the whole thing was going like that.
Center of gravity was perfect.
Absolutely. So yeah, it was very scary. And Catherine was sitting like that with the camera like that, and I can see like sitting right like 3-4 meters above me, and that was scary.
I've been there too. I mean, we've often had these moments, especially this time of the year when the grasses are so thick, and you drive along, you can't see these burrows, and they're not just little holes. I mean, a tire completely disappears in these holes. Yeah, it is quite amazing. Well, I know we probably have a couple more, and I know I was going to get Tara to come in and chat about maybe her moment. I have to say, from my point of view, there's one thing that I will always remember. The time that I stay here from now onwards, and there's a certain spot on Nyala Road South that the two of us were together on 2 occasions with memorable kills. And the one of them was, I think I was on camera, and the sticks killed that warthog.
Oh yes, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
And then it was getting dark, and they started heading up Central Road towards Gowrie Dam. And the cub couldn't quite carry the warthog head. It was a little bit too heavy.
Too heavy for it, yeah.
You remember that?
I do, yeah.
It was quite amazing, because then the cub eventually had to drop the warthog head to catch up with the pride, and her mother, who was lagging behind, was just waiting for that moment for this warthog head to be left alone so that she could grab it. But there was another time, and I think that might have been when you were on camera and I was driving, and we had the wild dog. Do you remember that? The whole pack. It was summer. It was a pack of, there were the 10 adults and 11 pups. They had made about 5 kills in about an hour, and we found them feeding on one impala on Nyala Road South. And it was only after that we started going up on Nyala Road North, and we saw the Nyala that they had killed and the kudu that they had killed. Yeah. I think you were with me.
I think so. I think I remember that, yeah.
I'm quite sure you were. Anyways, yeah, I think we could probably sit here the whole night and go through memories, and I know I did want, and Tara's sitting patiently waiting to come in and have a word, and we sort of running out of time kind of thing. But in closing, we're just happy that Pat is going to be coming back after this and helping us go through this interim period until we get a new guy, and we're also hoping that in the future, from time to time, Pat will be here. Of course, Dixie is just outside the gate, and we can always go and abduct him and bring him in here for a fireside chat.
That'll be a fun call away.
But anyways, there would be invariably so much to talk about, and to try and squeeze it into a single fireside chat is almost near impossible. I just want to thank you all for joining us tonight and enjoying some of the moments that we've had with Patrick. We are going to miss him. He has been a great part of the team, a very integral part of the team, and I think it's going to be hard to replace him for. But yes, we all wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
And where you go and what you do, and we are going to be following you closely, and you've got all our support. Man.
Fabulous.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, remarkable Magwana.
Thank you, Mpo. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow morning on our morning safari with, well, yours truly. Bye for now.
Alrighty, and it has been an absolutely a gorgeous day and beautiful, beautiful afternoon in the heart of the African bushveld. And from me, Patrick, and the rest of the crew, Hammond behind the camera, and Seb in final control. Have a good day and bye for now.